Writing a journal article or research report is important and essential to disseminate to the innovative work to the world. Apart from it, how to write and read is also important. The topic is critical appraisal of the research article. Reference is taken from the Bodas G. Consideration on preparing a paper for publication teaching and learning in medicine, which is published in 1989. George Bodas is a professor in the Department of Medical Education, College of Medicine, University of Illinois at Chicago. The objectives: by the end of the session, the participants must be able to know the different types of research articles, why to read and write a research paper, what is the purpose of critical appraisal, definition of critical appraisal, how to do a critical appraisal, what are the skills required to read a research paper, and what are the elements are required to critique a paper. There are different types of research articles: original articles, review articles, short communications, meta-analysis, editorials, letters to the editors. When we put a question, why we read a research article, definitely it is a tools for translation, research into practice, to disseminate a new or a valid information to the world, to transfer the benefits of the research to the fellow researchers, and most importantly, to enhance the knowledge and the skills of the readers. Similarly, why we write a research article? Definitely, to disseminate it to the others, conveying the research finding, it should be an exciting moment. The purpose is the authenticity of the research findings need to be assessed by carefully critical analysis as to broaden the understanding, to determine the evidence of use in practice and provide a background for conducting the further studies. Appraisal is an act of estimating or judging the nature or value of something. So the definition of the critical appraisal is: it is a balanced assessment between the benefits, strengths, flaws and weakness of the study, or you can say it is an assessment of the research process and results, or consideration of qualitative and quantitative aspects. But critical appraisal is not a negative dismissal of any piece of research. Assessment on results alone, not based entirely on the statistical analysis, or undertaken by experts only. These are some definition for the critical appraisal, the quoted by different authors like Hill and Spittlehouse said critical appraisal is a process of systematically examining the research evidence to assess its validity, results, and relevance before using it to inform a decision. Follett and Beck described a research critic is a careful appraisal of the strength and weakness of the study. Similarly, Hood and Haber described the critical appraisal as intellectual research critic is a careful, complete examination of the study to judge its strength, weakness, logical links, meaning, and significance. Why we are reading or writing a research paper? Why to do a critical appraisal? Every year, millions of articles gets published in all the fields. Only few persons are useful. Even articles which are published in most prestigious journals are far from perfect. So we should be able to distinguish between the high and low quality of the research. To find out the validity of the study, whether the methods are robust, to find out the reliability of the study, what are the results and are they credible, to find out the applicability of the study. Is it important enough to change my practice? So coming to this important, that's how to critique a paper. There are checklists are available that ask very simple questions. There are different checklists for different types of studies. These checklists help you to focus on the most important aspects of the article. Coming to what skills is required for the critical appraisal. First, know about the main types of the study design. Ability to detect the faults in the study design of the published research paper. To know how to interpret the data published in the research papers, including the results and statistical tests. Coming to the what elements to be critiqued. The elements of the critic. First, title, author, abstracts, introduction and review of literature, material and methods, results, discussion and conclusion, references, and general consideration and implications. You can take into the specific consideration also. You can read first materials and methods, results, discussion and conclusion, references, introduction and review of literature. Then go to the title, abstract, authors, implications, finally the general consideration. When we read and write the part of the introduction, we have to look into this matter. What is a problem or a purpose of the research study? We have to think, is the goal of the study is mentioned? What is the rationale behind the paper? Why was the study done? Is the need for the studies identified? Are the research hypotheses clearly concise and complete? So when we move to the review of literature, does the review of literature provides a theoretically and methodologically framework for the problem under study? Is the reference to the previous findings are accompanied by proper literature citations? Whether key references are reported or not? Is there a clear relationship between the literature and the problem being studied? We have to look into this all matter. When we read or write the material and methods, is the research design is defined and clearly described? To see various variables are described clearly or not, whether the measurement instrument is used to measure the variable is described clearly or not. We have to see whether the instrument used is been described or not, whether the instrument is reliability and validated or not. Is the population of interest, sample, sampling procedure or clearly described or not? All this has to be taken into the consideration. Whether the sample size is appropriate to the study, is the data collections methods are clearly described, all the drugs, chemicals used in the studies are identified, the dose, route of administration, generic names are being mentioned in the methods and materials, and the most important is the reference to all the methods is used or not. Is the setting in which the study took place is mentioned or not? Is the data analysis procedures are listed and appropriate? Finally, when we read or write the results section should contain actual results only. No opinions or discussion should be given. The tables and the figures are used efficiently, neither too few or too many. The contents of the tables and the figures should be clear and accurate. You can club the results and discussion also. All the debatable aspects of the studies, the plus and minus should be considered. New and important aspects should be emphasized. Limitations should be mentioned. No opinions should be stated, and we have to look into this in the discussion part whether the current and the past findings are brought together in the discussions or not. The discussion is related directly to the study reported and not to the other topics. Finally, when we read the conclusion, does the conclusion follow the study methods and results? We have to correlate this all. Whether the justification of the conclusion is well articulated or not. Interpretation of the results are appropriate or not. The conclusions are accurate, they should not be a misleading. Most importantly, when we read the title, it should be clear, concise, and informative. It should represent the breadth and the content of the study. Definitely, it should not mislead the readers. It should capture the attention of the reader. And very importantly, no abbreviation should be used in the title. Authors. Is the author's credentials are appreciated? Whether the address of the author is clearly indicated or not, we have to read this. Does the number of the authors appears are appropriate or not? Finally, when we are reading the abstract, it is a gist of the paper. Does the abstract cover the each and every component of the study, like objectives, purpose, goals, or research question, design, subjects, setting, the outcomes, materials, results, and conclusion. Everything should be precise in information, and actual data should be there, and the main results should be highlighted. When we read the keywords, preferably 3 to 10 keywords should be there. Finally, it is the heart of the paper, references. There are different styles of writing the references. Use of specified style of references, either it may be Harvard or Vancouver style. Most of the Indian papers we write in a Vancouver style. We have to see that the number of the references reasonably. It should not be too few or too many. It should be correctly, properly, uniformly written. We have to check whether they have written properly or not. Use correct accepted abbreviation of the journals. Each journal has its own abbreviations. We have to check the abbreviations of the journals. Avoid using abstract as a references. Many times we do this mistake. Based on the abstract, we write a references. So we have to avoid using abstracts as the references. Reference must be verified against each and every original documents. Finally, the general considerations like writing style is clear and pleasant. It should be pleasant. No spelling mistake should be there. Instructions of the journal regarding the text, table, illustrations are followed or not. Ethical guidelines are there or not. And if finally we have to check all the direct and indirect help is acknowledged or not. Whether the various sections of the papers are identified clearly and the contents are appropriate or not. Suggestions and implications. What would they say? Whether the study has been implications or not. How will you be able to use the results presented in the paper in building your own argumentations for the change in your own settings? Finally, the take-home message: do not believe everything you read, think critically. Thank you.